Hi everyone, I wanted to share with you a really interesting contemplation from the Bhagavad Gita in chapter 18. The Gita is really like the Bible of the yoga tradition, and there is this incredible wisdom that what is like nectar in the beginning becomes like poison in the end. What is like poison in the beginning becomes like nectar in the end. I felt that this is such a perfect quote and sentiment to share with anyone who is seeking to start up a new practice or a new discipline to really take health into your own hands. It's really, really hard to start anything. That's why in the Vedic spiritual tradition, we always evoke Lord Ganesha, the elephant-headed remover of obstacles, to support us in getting started with anything that we wish to do in our lives. It is so difficult to start that a lot of us don't do it. We maybe make these New Year's resolutions at the beginning of the year, and then by now we drop them. But spring season actually is the perfect time to really embed yourself into a beautiful practice. I always tell my students it's like planting a seed for growing a flower or a set of flowers in the garden of your own life. Each practice is like a seed, and we have to give water and sunshine and attention to these seeds so that they can really blossom and grow into beautiful flowers that then give us beauty and joy and that nectar of life in the end. In the beginning, we don't see anything. In the beginning, we plant the seed and there's nothing. It's just soil and good intentions, faith, and the belief that one day it shall bloom. What we have to really do in this case is trust in the power of our intention and really connect with that power of intention, because that's what will allow us to naturally pull away any weeds that are in our way to grow the beautiful flowers that we wish to grow in our lives. Doing any kind of a new practice in the beginning really does feel like poison. It's like the idea of waking up early when you're used to sleeping until 9 or 10 a.m. is so daunting that it just feels like, oh, that's so poisonous. Why would I want to do that? I'd rather just stay in bed. Or when you first start exercising, it feels so arduous and so difficult, and all of the body will ache incredibly after your first few workouts, and so much so that you may just feel like letting go of the whole thing altogether. But when you stick with a workout, you will feel that it starts working in, and it helps you to really gain more strength physically, and then this physical strength translates into more emotional strength and more willpower to be able to continue the practice, so that the practice then bows to you and it becomes a part of you and it blossoms into your life and really blesses you with the nectar of the sweetness of it, of the benefit of it, of the wellness giving attributes that it has for you, with strength, stronger muscles, with more endurance, with more stamina, with more willpower and more confidence in yourself, because you moved through those obstacles and you really got to the other side. A lot of times what seems really wonderful in the beginning ends up not being so great in the end. If we feel like we really love a certain food, for example, such as sweets, we may feel like, oh, it's so sweet, it's so nice to eat this. It feels like nectar. I look forward to it all day. When my taste buds hit it, it just fills with me with such satisfaction. How could I possibly not enjoy this? But then you keep indulging in that habit, and then as you go on, you find that you develop some kind of issue like diabetes. And when you look at it, it's like, oh, that cookie in the beginning was really sweet, but as I've progressed along, that same thing that gave me sweetness and gave me satisfaction and joy is now giving me a poison. It's giving me a disease. So we have to really hold to this wisdom, and we have to remember this when we're trying to make changes in our lives, because it's not easy in the beginning. We have to know that it's going to feel like poison, but we're going to push through it anyways, because that poison in the beginning will transform and convert to nectar in the end. That is really the power and the gift of any kind of practice that you really sincerely and earnestly plant into the garden of your life. We're having an amazing time in the Wellness Ambassador program of really taking into our lives all of the spring cleaning practices, which are clearing away any accumulated foods and habits and emotions that are no longer serving us. We are evoking the fire element to burn through the old and make way for the new. We're even incorporating the fire element into our lives through our spices, through our foods, and through our actions, through our exercise, through our physical activity, through dry scrubbing, and by generally working against any tendency of laziness. A lot of us are doing different kinds of spring detoxing foods to help lighten up our system and clear out any old toxins that may be there still in the body, waiting to be washed away so that we can then begin again and really have a fresh start to our health in the spring season. It's really interesting because this is the only season where we're not recommended to have any of the sweet taste. We often look to that sweet taste for our emotional satisfaction and feeling of fulfillment. When we don't have it, when we're being asked to incorporate more of the pungent, bitter, and astringent tastes, it's interesting because all of these tastes also have certain emotional characteristics connected to them. They are kind of like the poison that gives us the nectar. The bitter taste, literally, it may taste bitter, like blah, don't like it, but it cleanses your palate and it gives you a fresh start to your taste buds so that you can then perceive new tastes on your tongue. A lot of times when our system has gotten too congested with too many different things that are just sitting within us and need to be cleared out, we can't taste anything anymore. It's like we experience a kind of tastelessness. When we start to incorporate the bitter taste in terms of green vegetables, especially into our diet, then we get a kind of cleanse of our palate and a refresh to be able to then taste everything that comes into our mouth. The pungent taste is made up of pure fire with air, so it intensifies the qualities of fire and it really burns through the system. If you have any clogged arteries, or if you have obesity or weight gain or water retention and you're trying to let go of that physically, then the fire element is what burns through that and gives you a fresh start to your whole system. And it's the fire element that we experience when we have spices like black pepper, like ginger, like fenugreek seeds and mustard seeds, cloves, cinnamon. These are all having varying degrees of the fire element, which really does a lot of the cleansing for us in the body. It's a really great time to just embrace any new start to your wellness for the spring season, to really allow you to let go of anything that is no longer serving you. Spring season is a perfect time for new beginnings and fresh starts to your life that will really enhance your body, your mind, and your soul for the whole year ahead. If you feel really excited to take on a new wellness practice to really make this a season of beautiful new beginnings, then I encourage you to consider joining the Wellness Ambassador program that I'm offering online this year. We have just completed our first month and have so many beautiful stories of our students applying the knowledge in the garden of their own lives and really benefiting from the practices and from the community that we have with each other. We have a community buddy system, and I'm a good matchmaker for new friends. So this is a great chance to be able to connect with like-minded people who are seeking to make changes in their own well-being, and to have a WhatsApp group where you can share your photos and videos of actually applying the practices in your life. It's been so much fun so far, and I am so happy to be able to extend the invitation to you to join us if you feel so called to do so. You can check out the link in my bio for more information, and I hope to see you soon.